Joann is going out of business. According to Retail Dive, Joann will shut down all of its stores pending court approval, the company said in a Sunday statement. The move follows a bankruptcy auction in which the winners, GA Group, and the retailer's lenders said they will initiate going out of business sales at all locations. And how saddened are you to learn that Joann is shutting its doors for good?
I was really sad when I read this. I don't know why, if it's
Were
just
you? I feel like
nostalgia from
everybody
like
is.
all the memories that happened in this store as a
Yeah,
kid. I mean, I spent so much time there. I mean, I was a
yeah.
total like, you know, stay-at-home nerd who just loved doing craft projects and stuff. But I mean, I also think that the other part that's really sad about this is that I think it just means the end of a retailer and almost a retail category. Like they talk about in the article that maybe this business could be taken online. I don't think that that's a viable option for Joann. It's not core to its customer base. There's too much competition when you start getting Joann's product outside of like fabrics and things. You've got competition with Amazon and Temu for all the craft supply type things. So there's no way that they can win in that space. But I mean,
Mm,
I think the retailer, like several department stores that we've seen close, like this is just the end
yeah,
of an era. They haven't evolved. The boxes are huge, rent is high. And
right.
I would say like Joann has done curbside pickup and things that they had to do during the pandemic. But when you look at that in contrast with like a Michael's, for example, like you don't hear about Joann trying omni-channel offerings or like doing the marketplaces or the in-store events like you talked about with the Michael's representative back at Shop Talk
Right.
Fall. Like I think that, this is a hard category to keep relevant, and we just haven't seen the investment from Joann to really make some pushes into that space. So I can't say I'm surprised, but I'm sad. I mean, do you even care? I feel like this is like just a party of one here. Like, oh,
No,
I'm
no,
so
I mean, Ed, I of course I care. Like it's a headline. Of course I care. No, but I have been startlingly surprised, if that's a word,
yeah.
um, by how much people are interested in this story. Like I trended the top, or I searched the top, what was trending in Google
Yeah.
yesterday, and Joann
Yeah.
was like number two. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, that many people care about Joann or Joann Fabrics as it used to be known. That's crazy. So, I mean, my big takeaways aren't very different than yours. I think my big takeaway is that nothing is ever safe in business. You can never rest on
Hmm.
your laurels. You have to be constantly evolving and trying to get better. And sometimes the way the cookie crumbles, the macro trends are just out of your control, and there's just nothing you can
Hmm.
do about it. And so
Yeah.
like you mentioned it, I'll just be more explicit about it. Like, I wonder if the same thing isn't going to happen to Macy's here by the end of the decade.
Hmm.
I think that's really what this story tells me as I step back and I look at the implications of it. Or I'm going to go out on a limb here and say too, like, I'm starting to have this fear about our alma mater Target as well, because I have
Hmm.
legitimate concerns for them in the long run
Hmm.
now too. And I wouldn't have dared utter those words 5, 6, 7 years ago. But now I think, given that just how things change and how you can't rest on your laurels, you have to constantly
Hmm.
be evolving. I think I put them on that list too here, over
Wow.
the next 10 to 20 years.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy to think about. I mean, I do have to say, like, Walmart is giving them a serious run for their money. I mean, like just going into like we talked about it, like just going into that store and the fashion categories
Yep.
alone, like and hearing Denise talk about like we've never been present in there. There's so much opportunity for Walmart to like come in and make a play to grab those customers away from Target. I guess yeah, that's true. Like yes, I never would have thought of that until you said that, but you do you do it's like evolve or die, right? What isn't that like
Yeah.
the slogan for like a
Yeah,
t-shirt or
yeah, it's
something?
like this float. Yeah, it's like the slogan of Delaware's. No, let's live free
Mm,
or die. But yeah, no, I mean, I was writing an article. I was thinking about it because I was writing an article for Placer AI this week, and if you look at all the beachheads Target once held, they've
mm-hmm,
all been under siege. Like, you've got Walmart getting the high income shopper to a really, really large degree,
mm-hmm,
particularly in fashion, as Denise mentioned, on your show, in your interview yesterday. The warehouse clubs are getting stronger, particularly with the younger generations. You got Temu and Shein in the mix. You don't know how long or to what degree, but they're going after that fast fashion space as well. And
Mhm.
Wayfair's the go-to place for online furnishings now too. So like, and they're getting into stores. So there's a lot of guns pointed in that direction. So yeah, I don't know, but it just goes to show you, you got to keep moving. You got to
You
keep
got
moving.
to
You got to
keep
keep
moving.
evolving.
Joann is the canary in the coal mine for all of our once favorite retailers.
It's crazy considering all the retailers that have gone out of business recently,
Yeah,
and Joann is the one that we're like, having this major epiphany
I
or
know. I
discussion
know.
about. It's wild,
I
wild to
know.
me.
But I loved it. I loved all those wreaths that I made for people as gifts back in the day. I could spend hours there on a Saturday. It was great.
So you're a
Okay, well,
wreather? I didn't know you're a wreather. You make wreaths?
yeah, I like made these wreaths every year for Christmas where you like poke
Huh.
fabric into them. I went to the classes all the time. See,
Wow.
it's sad. There's a lot of memories that are dying, Chris. Thank you, audience, for sticking with us as I go through my childhood nostalgia
I think our
with
audience is
Joann.
very, very happy to know that you were once a wreather, and
I
a
was a
wreather.
wreather, yes.